What's up, fellow Walking Dead fans? Solid Dave Snake here, bringing you a review on the newly released New York Comic Con 2015 Skybound exclusive Lee Everett action figure. And just like last year's Black Friday Skybound exclusive, we get another character from the Walking Dead Telltale video game. And it was very fitting last year getting Clementine, the main character from the overall series, but now we get the main playable character that you used in the first game this year, and we get him in the exact same color variants that we got Clementine from last year, so I'm very happy they followed suit. We get a clean, non-bloody version, and then we get an extremely bloody version. So you have two options, and I really like the bloody variant this year. They really outdid themselves with this one, and of course we'll take an in-depth look at both of them. But this was sold at the New York Comic Con last week, but after it was over they put it up on Skybound's website, so you can now purchase either one of these action figures over at the Skybound site for $25 a piece. So go check it out if you want this. Don't pay a high price on eBay. Just go straight to the source at Skybound. But there's a lot to go over in this action figure, so we're just going to jump right into him and take Clementine out of the way for now and start off with his accessories. And both of these color variants come with the same accessories. However, the bloody variant, all his accessories are covered in blood, just like last year's Clementine release. Like all her weapons were covered in blood. So, first up, we'll take a look at the axe that he comes with. And I'll pull up the non-bloody version to show you how Lee Everett holds the axe here. And he has some really tight hands when you first get him. His grip is really tight. You kind of have to stretch it out a little bit for him to be able to hold this. But he holds it really tight. However, you may have a hard time getting him into some overhead swinging poses with this axe. And I'll explain that a little more later when I go over the articulation, because that is what hinders his raising ability for posing with this axe. But he does hold it tight, and I'll pry it out here and give you an up-close look at the clean version and the bloody version. And even the clean version has a very nice paint job with that still look for the blade. Has a very nice color wash to it. And then of course the blood splatter version is just covered, not only on the axe blade, but as well as the handle, if you can see. It is going all the way down on both sides. So really nice accessory, a weapon that he utilized very well in the video game. And another weapon that he utilized very well in the game was the butcher knife. And once again we get a clean version and a bloody version, which I have the Bloody Lee variant holding right now, and he holds it great with as tight as that grip is in that right hand there. So let's pull that out and give you a little comparison of both of these. Once again, even the clean version has a great paint scheme to it, giving a wooden appearance on the handle and even nice silver notches there. The actual sharp end of the butcher's knife gives a little more of a metallic shimmer to it, which came out really nice. Even the hole up here. And the blood splattered version looks very wicked. And I'll give you an individual closer look at this. Once again, the blood goes down the handle and just totally covers both sides. So another great accessory, and a weapon that Lee did use in the video game. And we do get one other accessory in this pack, and that is a stump. And spoiler warnings, but if you're watching this review and haven't played the game, then shame on you. But you do have the option at the end of the first game to amputate your arm after you get bit. And this is the stump for the clean version, so there's not a lot of blood down here at the bottom. But I like the way this came out with the shirt looking ripped up here, the blue overshirt, and the white underneath, and even having the tourniquet right above where he severed his arm. Very nice attention to detail. And I'll show you the difference by pulling up the bloody version stump. And you can see how bloody that one is compared to this. And the bloody version really works well with this stump. I really love it. And I'll show you his alternate regular arm before I go over these figures from head to toe. So I love that you can interchange the arm. Any Walking Dead figures for Survivor characters that have had amputated parts throughout their storylines, and they do that in action figure form, I really get a kick out of that. Mcfarlane does a good job with it. But now let's take a real close look at this Lee Everett from head to toe. We'll take a look at the clean version first. And a lot of people were complaining with the likeness to his face in the video game. And a lot of people complained with the Clementine as well. And it's justifiable because the video game has a very unique stylized look. Almost like a comic book brought to life, but even more than that. Almost kind of like a CG movie in a way. And the lines are very sharp in it. And I'll bring the packaging up to show you what I'm talking about here. And show you the picture of Lee in the corner here compared to the action figure. And it does look drastically different here. And one of the big noticeable differences is the eyes. And it was noticeable like that with the Clementine. The eyes for these characters in the games are larger than they come out in these action figures. They're almost very cartoonish, and they don't portray that in the action figures. And it might look a little weird coming out with the action figures. But people also complained about this Lee Everett not being dark enough and in his skin tone, and I don't think it's so much that as his hair and beard. They should really be darker, and you can tell from the picture here. His beard and hair are really not dark enough to how they were in the game. So I think that's kind of where the problem lied. But all in all, I mean, it's a very neat head sculpt. I mean, I'm happy with it. May not be identical to that artwork of the game, but hey, we got Lee in an action figure form here. I do wish they would have painted the hair and beard a little darker. That would have been nice, but all in all, I'm satisfied. And let's get him up close here. Yeah, and you can see, the beard should have been darker. It's a little light. But you can tell that's Lee. And the eyes are on there fairly straight. The left eye may be looking a little bit more to the left on my figure. But not too bad all in all. And the overall body sculpt, I think they just did a phenomenal job with. Really great job. This was the only look to go with this Lee figure. This is how we all picture him. In this blue button-up shirt with the jeans on down below. White undershirt. There's just a lot of detail all over here. I say it in about all my Walking Dead reviews now, but Mcfarlane really does a great job with clothing, showing off the wrinkling and folds, and just natural look of the clothing. They have got it down. And I even like here on the elbow joint, how you can see the sleeves are rolled up on the back end. Kind of added that in to help hide the articulation and just look correct. A lot of shading going on here on the white shirt. And I love that they added in the watch. Nice attention to detail. And another great addition is Clementine's walkie-talkie with the little flower stickers on it. I love that they added this in here. And it's not removable. It's stuck there on a side. But I'm really happy they added that in there. Nice touch. And it looks just like the one out of the game. And they did a great job with his jeans. Nice shading going on through there. Little rips and tears and scuffs all through it. And his boots came out really nice as well. And the jeans fold real naturally over those boots. That looks good. So, all in all, I'm happy with this Lee. Now let's take a look at his bloody variant. Which, I'd say if you could only buy one or the other, pick this bloody variant. They really did a great job with it. The blood is very randomized on it, and like if I compared this one to the one in the box back there, they're both a little different. And there are two different kinds of colored blood to this. A fresher look with this more lighter red splash, and then a deep dark red that looks soaking in on certain parts of his clothes, as you can see on his left chest area up here. And down here, and even right here on his right arm. Almost looks black, like bile. So they did a great job with this blood splatter on this figure. And I think this version looks really good with the stump. Almost like it was meant for it. And it just continues all the way down. And even a little bit on the backside. Not so much on his torso, but all over his arms and the back of his jeans as well. I'll give you one more look at that bloody face. Turned out pretty good. High recommendation on this one. And now let's go back to the clean version to go over Lee's articulation here. And just like with all Walking Dead action figures, the head is on a ball joint, which will rotate all the way around. Get a little side-to-side movement out of it. Look that far down. And only that far up. Ball joint and a hinge on the shoulders, which will kick almost out to 90 degrees. Pretty close. And rotate all the way around. And the same thing at the elbows. Only it is a little restricted. You don't get that much upward movement out of that hinge on the elbow. So it will make it harder to get an overhead swinging pose with that axe. So that's all the movement you'll get out of that elbow. But it will rotate all the way around. And a cut is hidden real nice here in between the skin and the shirt. You can rotate all the way around there. And a hinge and a peg here. So you can hinge that far up at the hand, that far back, and rotate there as well. And he has a waist cut. However, it's really tight on this one. I think I had it moving better on my bloody version. Yeah, you don't get that much out of it, but you can see it rotating there. So that point's pretty tight. But then, of course, we get that great leg articulation, which is not really restricted at all, kicking up. Kick up that far, all the way out to the side, and about this far back. At the knee, he will go up to 90 degrees, and bend back straight, rotate all the way around, and down at the foot, there's a ball joint down there, but it is pretty restricted with its movement from the way that the pants are. You can turn it from side to side Fair amount, though. And, of course, whenever you have the amputated arm, you're not going to get anything from the shoulder down on that side. So, all in all, if you're a fan of the Telltale video games, this is a must pick up. This is who we first played as in the Telltale video games. Very memorable character. And will go great with your Clementine. However, now we need another Clementine, because this Clementine is based off the second game. So we need a tinier version of her from the first game to go with this Lee now. So, alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think of Lee, if you're picking him up or have already got him. And I will catch you later. We have another Skybound exclusive hitting for Black Friday, and this time it will be of Alpha. So stay tuned for that one, guys, and I'll catch you later.